Did you know that 75% of people fear public speaking more than death? That's right. Many would rather face a lion than stand in front of a crowd. Yet becoming a great speaker is within your reach, and it's easier than you think. Imagine captivating an audience effortlessly, commanding their attention with every word. Sounds amazing, right? Here's a shocking fact. Research shows that speakers who use clear, powerful vocal techniques can boost audience engagement by up to 50%. Yes, your voice alone can make that much of a difference. The good news is, you don't need to be born a natural to achieve this. With the right skills, anyone can transform their speaking ability. In this video, we're diving into 6 pro tips that will elevate your speaking game. From mastering the art of strategic pauses to harnessing the power of breath control, we'll cover everything you need to know. You'll learn how to make every word count, keep your audience hooked, and speak with confidence. Ready to unlock your full potential? Let's get started. Chapter 1. Unlocking the power of silence, the art of strategic pauses. Silence can be one of the most powerful tools in your speaking arsenal. When you think of great speakers, they don't just know what to say, they know when to say nothing at all. According to a study published in the Harvard Business Review, well-timed pauses can increase the retention of information by up to 38%. That's because our brains need a moment to process what we've just heard. When you pause strategically, you give your audience time to digest and reflect on your message. But silence isn't just about stopping. It's about creating emphasis. Imagine saying, "This is the moment we've been waiting for." That pause before the climax grabs attention. It builds anticipation. In fact, the late Steve Jobs was a master at this. During his presentations, Jobs would pause before revealing a new product. The room would go quiet, and all eyes would be on him. That silence created suspense and heightened the impact of his words. Strategic pauses also give you time to think. It's easy to rush through a speech, especially when nerves kick in. But by pausing, you allow yourself to breathe and stay in control. According to communication expert Dr. Nick Morgan, pauses make you look confident. The audience thinks, if they're not in a hurry, why should I be? So how can you practice this? Start by reading aloud and deliberately pausing after key sentences. Record yourself and listen back. Are your pauses creating impact, or do they feel awkward? Adjust as needed. Remember, it's not about filling every moment with sound. It's about letting your words hang in the air just long enough to resonate. Chapter 2. Vocal gymnastics. Flexibility in tone and pitch. Your voice is like an instrument. Just as a musician varies the notes they play, you can vary your tone and pitch to keep your audience engaged. Research from the University of California, Santa Barbara found that speakers who use a wide range of tones are perceived as more dynamic and persuasive. In other words, a monotone voice can put your audience to sleep, but a varied voice keeps them awake and interested. Think of it this way. Tone conveys emotion. Pitch conveys meaning. If you say, "I'm excited to be here" in a flat tone, no one will believe you. But if you add energy to your voice, your excitement becomes contagious. Studies have shown that even over the phone, listeners can detect the speaker's enthusiasm through tone alone. Varying your pitch helps emphasize different parts of your message. For example, raising your pitch can signal importance, while lowering it can add gravity. Try this. Practice reading a passage with exaggerated changes in pitch. Notice how it changes the feeling of the text. Then tone it down a bit for a natural but engaging delivery. But don't just take my word for it. Experts like Julian Treasure, author of How to Be Heard, recommend using the full range of your voice. He suggests practicing scales with your voice, much like a singer would. Start low, gradually go higher, then come back down. This exercise helps you become comfortable with the full spectrum of your vocal range. Finally, remember that variety is key. If you keep your tone and pitch the same throughout your speech, you'll lose your audience's attention. Mix it up. Ask yourself, what emotion do I want to convey here? Then adjust your tone and pitch to match. It's a small change, but it makes a big difference. Chapter 3. Breath control secrets. Fueling your voice with power. Breath is the fuel for your voice. Without proper breath control, your voice can become weak, shaky, or strained. According to voice coach Patsy Rodenberg, who has worked with actors like Daniel Day-Lewis, breath is everything. It grounds you, gives you power, and connects you to your audience. So, if you want to speak with confidence and authority, mastering your breath is essential. First, let's talk about why breath control matters. When you speak, you use air to create sound. The more controlled your breath, the more controlled your voice. Shallow breathing limits your vocal power and can cause your voice to waver. On the other hand, deep diaphragmatic breathing allows you to project your voice with clarity and strength. One simple way to practice this is to place a hand on your stomach and take a deep breath. Your stomach should rise as you inhale and fall as you exhale. This is diaphragmatic breathing, and it's the foundation of vocal control. Practice this daily to strengthen your breath support. Another tip is to use breath strategically. Before making an important point, take a deep breath. This not only gives you the air you need to project, but also creates a natural pause, drawing your audience's attention. In fact, Winston Churchill was known for his deliberate breathing during speeches, using it to create rhythm and emphasis. You can also try a technique called box breathing. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold again for 4. This helps you regulate your breath and calm your nerves before speaking. Remember, breath control isn't just about speaking louder. It's about speaking with intention and precision. With proper breath, you can sustain long sentences without running out of air, maintain a steady pace, and keep your voice strong throughout your speech. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We've got more insights coming up in the next chapters that you won't want to miss. Chapter 4. Enunciation, excellence, crisp and clear communication. Clear communication isn't just about what you say, it's about how you say it. If your audience can't understand your words, your message gets lost. Enunciation is the key to ensuring every word you speak is heard and understood. A study by the Journal of Voice found that speakers who enunciate clearly are perceived as more competent and credible. So let's dive into how you can refine your enunciation and make every word count. First, slow down. It's tempting to rush through your speech, especially if you're nervous. But speaking too quickly can cause you to slur your words or skip syllables. According to speech coach Roger Love, speed kills clarity. Slow down and your words will land with precision. Practice speaking at a measured pace and use a metronome if needed to keep yourself in check. Another technique is to over-articulate when you practice. This means exaggerating the movement of your mouth and tongue. It might feel silly, but it trains your muscles to pronounce each sound clearly. Over time, this will translate into natural, crisp speech when you're on stage or in front of a camera. Tongue twisters are also a great tool. They challenge your articulation and force you to focus on enunciating every syllable. Start with classics like, "She sells seashells by the seashore," and gradually increase speed while maintaining clarity. It's a fun way to sharpen your skills. You should also pay attention to your mouth's position. Open your mouth wider when you speak, and don't be afraid to move your lips and tongue more than usual. As speech therapist Jeanette Nelson points out, your mouth is a muscle. The more you work it, the stronger it becomes. Finally, record yourself and listen back. Are you mumbling? Are some words getting lost? Identify areas for improvement and keep practicing. Clear enunciation takes effort, but it's worth it. When your audience understands every word, they're more likely to connect with your message. Chapter 5. Rhythm and cadence, speaking like a melody. Speaking is more than just delivering information. It's about creating a rhythm that draws your audience in. Rhythm and cadence add a musical quality to your speech, making it more engaging and memorable. Think about the speeches that stick with you. They often have a certain flow, a pattern that keeps you listening. This isn't by accident. Great speakers know how to use rhythm to their advantage. One way to develop rhythm in your speech is by varying your sentence length. Short sentences create a sense of urgency, while longer sentences allow for a more reflective tone. This mix keeps your audience on their toes, as they won't know what's coming next. Another technique is to use repetition. Repeating key phrases can reinforce your message and give your speech a rhythmic quality. Martin Luther King Jr.'s "I have a dream" speech is a perfect example of this. The repeated phrase, "I have a dream," creates a powerful rhythm that resonates with listeners. Pacing is also crucial. If you rush through your speech, you lose the natural rhythm. Instead, focus on pacing that matches the emotion you want to convey. Slow down for serious points and speed up when you want to build excitement. According to the book Made to Stick by Chip Heath and Dan Heath, rhythm and pacing are critical in making ideas stick with your audience. Pauses also play a role in creating rhythm. A well-placed pause can act like a comma or a period in a sentence, giving your audience a moment to reflect. It's like adding a rest note in music. Pauses break up the flow and give your words more impact. Finally, practice reading aloud with rhythm in mind. Choose a passage and focus on the natural rise and fall of the words. Notice where the rhythm naturally occurs and try to replicate it in your speeches. With practice, you'll develop a natural cadence that makes your speaking more compelling. Chapter 6. Body language. Synergy, aligning voice and gesture. Your voice and body language should work together like a well-rehearsed dance. When they're in sync, your message becomes more powerful and persuasive. Studies from the Journal of Nonverbal Behavior show that people remember more when a speaker's words match their body language. So let's explore how you can align your voice and gestures to make a lasting impact. First, be aware of your posture. Standing tall with your shoulders back not only projects confidence but also helps your voice carry. When you slouch, your voice can become muffled and your words lose power. According to Presence by Amy Cuddy, adopting a strong posture can even influence your brain, making you feel more confident and assertive. Next, think about your gestures. They should complement your words, not distract from them. For example, when making a point, use an open palm gesture to invite trust and openness. Or if you're emphasizing something important, a firm hand movement can underscore your point. But avoid overdoing it. Too many gestures can overwhelm your audience. Facial expressions are another crucial aspect. Your face is a window to your emotions, so let it reflect the tone of your speech. A smile can make you appear more approachable, while a serious expression can convey gravity. Practice in front of a mirror to ensure your facial expressions match your words. Eye contact is also vital. It creates a connection with your audience and keeps them engaged. When you maintain eye contact, your audience feels seen and heard. Aim to look at different sections of your audience. Or if you're on camera, focus on the lens as if you're speaking to a friend. Finally, practice coordinating your voice and body language. Record yourself and watch the playback. Are your gestures in sync with your words? Does your body language reinforce your message? Adjust where needed. When your voice and body language work together, you become a more persuasive and compelling speaker. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. There's plenty more to learn, and you won't want to miss out on our upcoming content.